How many people have gotten to where we stopped yesterday? Who has gotten to where we stopped yesterday? Nobody. No. Apologies. Meanwhile, on the other side. What the hell? So in the meantime, while the VS Code server is installing, can someone tell us where we stopped in the last class? Just turn off your mic and tell us where we stopped in the last class. Can anybody hear me? So turn off your mic since you can hear me and tell us where we stopped in the last class. Seriously, nobody.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Well, last time where we stopped, it was at the I think we were working on the data entry. Yeah, that's the data entry part. You know, fetching the data from the contracts from the blockchain and displaying it on the page.
That's actually where we stopped. And have you been able to do it locally? Have you been able to do it from your end?
I'm still working on it. But I'm also getting more familiar with React because you have a lot of moving parts
reports
here and there. So yeah.
Okay, no problem. So who else? What was wrong with this?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, based on our last class, that was yesterday, where we are trying to update the voting table from the
When we're trying to
update the table from the sorry from the React that we are using that yesterday, using the table file, trying to fetch from the ABI that we.
I'm using an. I can't really hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
You use .env.
No, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it will help if you are more audible.
I'm speaking loud. What about now?
It's pretty much the same. Just go on. Let me see if I make out what you're saying.
Okay, so like what you said. where we stopped yesterday, trying to update our vote from the ABL that we imported. You can hear me
Trying
now.
to complete.
Hello?
Okay, let me type what I think you said.
Okay.
Like, can you fill in the gaps I put in? Your voice was breaking in these parts.
It's not what I'm saying though. So let me join again.
Okay. What's happening now?
Yeah, indeed, the audio has been a real challenge in this training.
Is it from my end or?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if it is the network or whatever.
Same thing. Network is like, okay. I'm currently in photo. For some days, I'm not the only one that complained. Network has just been very poor here.
Okay, can you hear me now?
The Starlink is misbehaving. My phone network is also misbehaving. I don't even understand. Hello?
I said Starlink has been having issues for some weeks now.
Starlink has been having issues, right? Yeah,
For some weeks now.
I
Yeah.
noticed. I don't even understand. Why? Why has Starlink been having issues?
Based on what they are listening reported on news, it's like they're having a cloud issue. I don't know.
No, no, wow. Okay, for today, what we are going to do today, though, is that, okay, I said we are going to make the forms. We are going to integrate our rights function to nominate a candidate. Then we will integrate the start election function. But then for that start election function, in the contract, if you read the contract, I put it that only the owner of the contract can start election. And then I added my address as the owner of the contract. So from my end, I'll start the election. And after I start the election, we're going to start voting. Does everybody understand? That's the plan. That's the plan this evening. And that's where we are going to end. For the rest of the functions, I'm going to list what you are going to draw as assignments. Your assignment is just going to be completing the work. You have the contracts. So based on everything that we do, you are going to know what to send and what to expect from the contract every time. So yeah, that's the plan this evening. I hope that's okay. I know that. Very good. Okay, wait. Oh, yesterday we actually did a nominate, did we? Okay, we did not. It's just a read. Just be patient. It is soon be done. And we'll be back to work as soon as possible. Before you say Jack. Okay, this is where we stopped. Just imagine. I'm not using that Copilot. Wait, I hope Copilot is not going to be suggesting when I'm. I don't want that rubbish. We've not adjusted this pagination component because it's not supposed to be showing. Is anybody coding along, or I should just keep going? As I've always said, it's better to code along because I don't want to be caught telling everybody it works on my machine. So is anybody going to be coding along? Am I monitoring anybody here? If you're coding along, just raise your hand. Okay, just change it. Okay, David is also coding along. Lamin is coding along. That was very nice. So as I said, the next thing we want to do is we want to make this form functional. Right? Oh, sorry. And what this form is supposed to do is that it's actually a popover. It's supposed to, it contains input for candidate first name and candidate last name. So that when we click it, we're going to submit what? We're going to submit the data to the blockchain, and then a nominee will be added to this list. But before then, let's go back to this table components. We can see that our pagination is wrong. And I think it's here. So this is pagination. Okay, but it's actually not wrong. Or is it wrong? Okay, we are passing candidates here. What we should pass is, instead of candidates, what we should pass is this array instead. So let's just correct that. And when we come back here, it's showing the actual number. 1 to 5 of each results. If we go to the next page, this is what we see. Come to the last page. Very good. Chioma, you went and added this one on your own. Yes or yes?
I
Oh,
did that.
sorry. Okay, Chinedu, you added it. Hold on. At least you're practicing what I'm showing. Is the Zoom okay now? Moses, is it okay now? Okay, very good. So what we are doing is this. So I used states, I initialize candidate first name and candidate last name, right? And on the inputs, this logic here is just that whenever they are typing, this states that I initialize here is going to be updated whenever a user is typing. So I did it for the two options. I don't know how many people don't understand this, how many people are not reacting. But I hope it's nobody, not everybody understands it. But when we click on this nominate a candidate, this is the form that shows. So we can type this, The form currently does not have any on submit function. Okay. So what we want to do is when we click on this button, it's going to send the data to the blockchain. So well, we're going to open StackNet Real documentation again. This is where it happens. This is what we are going to be using. But remember I told you StackNet scaffold uses an older version. So this use send transaction, what it was called in the older version is use contract rights. So we're going to be doing exactly the same thing, but instead of use send transaction, it's use contract rights we're using. Do you understand? Okay. So let's see how to use it. Use send transaction. What happens is first you have your ABI accounts, the chain doesn't matter. So we're going to use this use contract just like we use when we're reading from it. We're going to use these contracts so that we'll identify the contract we're interacting with, right? And then we use the use contract rights now. The use contract rights takes one argument, which is called the calls. And what the calls taking is the calls takes in what you are sending to the blockchain. Okay. So I'm not going to come back here. First thing we are going to do is Let me implement it above here. I'll just be doing that. Const devoting API and the contract address. So what are we getting? What are we getting from it? We are structuring contract from it. And that's all. Then const so we are supposed to give it calls, but this calls is not defined yet. So let's define calls above. Here, what they did is actually that they define the calls within this place. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to define my calls outside, and there's a reason. So call is equal to use memo. This use memo is a hook from React. This use memo is a hook from React. What it does is that any code I write within this block, normally in React, where I mean we're writing in Next.js, but it still uses React. In React, different things make components to re-render. This add nominee form is also called a component. So different things cause components to re-render. So when the component re-renders, values that are values, variables, whatever that is declared in the components also re-renders. So what the use memo does is that it protects whatever is within this block from re-rendering. Whatever is within this block is only going to change when the values of the variables we put in this array are going to change. This array is called a dependency array. So that's why I'm putting the calls in the use memo, so that no matter what goes on inside this place, it's not going to change the values that we have inside the calls array. Is that okay? So, first of all, I don't want the user to be able to have access to this if the person does not have their wallet connected. So I'm going to say const equal to use accounts. So address. I'm going to change this to user. And user contracts and candidate first name dot length greater than 0, which means we have typed in an input greater than 0. If not is valid, I'm going to return. Let's I'm going to put in the function and then the arguments. So what's the function we are calling? Let me open it on Voyager. So yes, the function is nominate. Okay. So what I've done here is first of all, this before I run whatever is in this function, I'll make sure there is a user. That means the wallet is connected. There is a contract. This contract is not undefined. Candidate first name, the length of candidate first name is greater than 0, which means the user will actually put in a value. And same thing here, length of candidate last name. So if it's not valid, it returns. That means it keeps every code under and just leaves the function. But if it's valid, it continues and it can proceed to this return statement here. Return contract or populates. This is name of the function. And then we don't just pass. Okay, in this example, check what the pass here is. What this thing is felt. This thing is a felt value. But what we have here is a string value. So we are going to convert it using this call data.compile method. Are you following? Does everyone understand? It's just very easy. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? You know. So then in the dependency array, meaning what's the variables that these calls depend on to change. As I said, I don't want to re-render it every time something happens within my components. So first of all, anytime there is a new user connected, I want the calls to change. And anytime candidate first name and candidate last name change, I also want it to change. I mean, I'd have added this as well to this place, but I don't see any points. I don't see any points adding it. I don't see any point adding this contract. But then, okay, let me add it anyway. Doesn't matter. Is there anybody that is not following?
In that dependency array,
Yes.
the user variable there already contains the account address. So I need for us to still indicate the again.
The user variable contains the user account address. Yes. You say it's very easy for us to.
So still include the last name and first name.
Yes, so that this calls changes when the candidate last name and candidate first name changes. Do you understand?
Okay.
Hold on. Since I'm not using this right, since I'm not using this right. Yeah, there's something I'm missing. Hold on. Let me just. This is what I usually do. I check where I've implemented it before so that I'll know if I'm making any mistake. I mean, it's what all developers do. Let's see. Okay, I didn't use the codeData.compile. Oh. See the issue here. I'm supposed to wrap this within an array. Is that okay? Any problem? So let's check. So note, I made this mistake today. What you are returning inside here is an array. Let's check what this hook returns to us. Okay, this hook, it returns error and a function. This send is a function that actually does the sending to the blockchain. So this is what we are going to do. In the previous version, it's not send, it's called write and write this. I'm just going to import error, this error. I should use all this. So this write the same function is what we are supposed to call inside the on click of this button. Sorry. So instead of doing it like that, I'm just going to write another function called nominate candidates. So the reason I'm doing it is so that it catch any error. Right, sync and catch. This is what I'm going to simply. Then On click of the button, then I'm calling the culture. Is there anybody that did not understand what I just did? Anyone?
Yeah, please go back to the code.
Sorry?
Go back to the code. The code.
Okay. So what part did you not understand?
On the last function you wrote, they call.
Okay, denominate candidates.
No, before that, nominate command, the previous function you wrote.
This.
Yeah, they write async.
Okay. I didn't write function. I just.
That course, what?
Sorry?
What's that course doing there?
That's the argument it takes. Normally, this course that you are seeing here, this course that I defined inside here, basically what I wrote here, it can be written inside here. But the reason I don't want to write inside here is that if I put it inside here, whenever this component renders, the course, everything is going to change, and I don't want it to change like that. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay. Then there's one more thing you can do. Although this is optional, but it's also good to do it under these RPC methods. This use transaction receipts. What this one helps us do is that it helps us know the current state of the transaction, right? So it's just take in the hash. I don't use it now, but eventually I'm going to use it. If the status is error pending success, it returns its error, is pending its success, it's fetching, it returns different things, right? So in this version of StackNet React, it's called wait for transaction. So, oh, the issue is it's redeclaring a variable. So I'm going to rename this one Mm. No, this ID is somewhere, or this thing like this. Is loading. What I'm doing, this syntax, what it just does is all these things that I'm importing, it's renaming them to what I'm writing here. So what I've just done is this what's it called? This use wait for transaction hook. It takes in multiple arguments, but two main arguments. The transaction hash of the transaction that you want to check its states and whether or not it should watch it. So if I set this watch to false, it's only going to check the value once. But since the watch is true, it's checking the value like it's constantly checking the value and updating the state of our application. That's simply what's happening here. Like, does anybody not understand? All good. Can we continue? Hello. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do, or is it the last thing? Since I have these different states of the transaction, what I'm going to do is I want to change the content of this button based on the current state of the transaction. So when the transaction starts sending, the button content change, and it helps user experience, right? When you are navigating a app and you are trying to carry out the transaction, it will be helpful if the button tells you where the transaction currently is. Very good. Then this loading state component, what it does is just it gives us a spinner. That's it. So I'm going to use this button contents. Is anybody following what I'm doing here? As I said, I want the content of the button to change based on the current state of the transaction. So what I'm doing here is I'm writing a function that, depending on the state of this thing we are seeing here, depending on the state of this transaction we are carrying out, is going to return a different component. And this loading state component is just a simple component. It gives message and this loading spinner. Let me open this. This one is just a spinner, nothing else. Like that's just all it is. See, animate spin. So it's just a loading spinner. There's nothing special. So let me just write this. I should have written this out somewhere so that you know how to. So that you're not going to have to watch me write it, but now you're going to have to watch me write it. I hope you enjoy it. Transaction reverted. Oh, mistake again. Let's okay. So what I did is that based on different states of the transaction, I returned different strings, right? And TypeScript goes from top to bottom when it's resolving all this stuff. So if it checks this and this is true, it returns this immediately. Every other thing on that it skips. If it's not true, it goes to the next one. So just like that. That's why at the end I put if at the end this one being here alone means that if the winner is not error, is not rejected or is not reverted, it means that the transaction is confirmed. And if not, and if none of these are true, that means we've not started a transaction. It's just nominated and I see. Does everybody understand? It's just a simple function. I mean, it can be put in any language. Not following. I don't like talking to myself. I think I've made it clear. Any question? No question.
That's ternary operator.
Yes. Ternary operator. That's ternary operator is this. Okay, are you saying I could have used it?
Oh,
Is that
okay,
what
okay.
you're saying?
No, 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 no.
Okay. So instead of what was in this button here, instead of what was in this button before, I'm just going to uncomment this out. So when we go back to our local hosts, why is it doing like that? Okay, I must have made a mistake here. Send. So why is it saying that I've already sent the transaction? What is that? So can we try that now? Can we try it now? Let's try it. Uh, oh, sorry, this is not connected. And it brings up our wallets. Did everybody see that? Is there anybody that did not see it? It brings up our wallet for us to sign the transaction. So let me go back. Oh, this is the data. It has converted it for us already. And all I need to do is sign. This is supposed to change actually. Transaction confirmed. This is kind of weird.
I think
I
that is another thing.
sorry. You think
Your conditions, those are conditions you are stating there.
yes, there's something wrong with the conditions. I'm going to fix it. Let me just see that it actually added person. Okay, it's showing 1 to 5 of 9 results now. So if I check it, I can see the Chukudi events. Is that okay? Who did not follow? Ask any question you have now.
The transaction, is it gasless transaction or you?
Oh, it's not gasless. I paid, but this is deployed on Sepolia. So I'm using test tokens, not real money. Don't worry, I'll not use my real money to teach you. I'm not that special. So yes, Sepolia faucets. Let me send the site where you can get Sepolia faucets. Don't mind me, you're that special. Statements. This is the best app to get it. Let me just paste it in the comments. Just go to this place, paste your contract address. But then it's just once a day. So if you want to be rich on Sepolia, if you want to be rich with testnet tokens, just every morning when you wake up, set alarm. Go on. Yeah, every 24 hours. So you set your alarm, go and put your wallet address, and then you receive tokens every day. For me, I have enough Sepolia tokens. So let's just practice this one more time to be sure. Okay, instead of just practicing it, let me look at the conditions. think I'm making a mistake here. Hold on. Let me try this. Let me try this. Okay, I think it should work now. Whose name should I add? I'm tired of adding English names. Hey, it's working now. So I'm just going to sign it. Waiting for confirmation. Transaction confirmed. And I forgot to add one more thing to this place. I already made this an async function. So I'm going to use await here. This await keyword means that normally, yes, I'm going to explain it. Sorry, just hold on. Okay. So this await function, let me explain it. TypeScript is a single-threaded language, meaning that when you have lines of code, TypeScript is based on JavaScript, so everything is JavaScript, just with types added. So when you have code, right, it goes from line to line, running everything. But then with asynchronous TypeScript, asynchronous JavaScript, sorry, let me stop saying TypeScript. With asynchronous JavaScript, it gives you the ability to run things. I'm not going to explain the base logic because not everybody here is normally a TypeScript person. That will have to be something that will be in your journey as you are learning the language. But it's basically it gives the ability to run things outside the normal single thread. So when you run things outside the normal single thread, if we did this write async without it, this is an async function, right? This particular write async is an async function in itself, in that it returns a promise. So it might still be resolving, and we'll now try to close the modal, which should not be. So putting await in front of any async function, make sure the promise inside here is completely resolved before we close this. You understand? Yes, I think so. I'm just going to add one more name. See, it's already, which I don't want. I'm going to add one more name to be sure. After everything is done, the modal closes. This is the function I use to close the modal. Toggle pop over. I think in your code you are going to see it. So let's do it again. Why is it doing this? Whose name am I going to add now? So nominate. And then close the modal. So everything we did worked, right? We are free to move. Yes or yes? Did anybody follow what just happened? Any questions? I'm surprised there are no questions. There should be questions. Are you sure you don't want to ask anything?
My question is basically on the integration of the smart contract, which I am getting. So I don't really have any question.
The integration of the smart, okay, you're getting it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So everything we have done is working on your lookout. So
Though I'm not coding along because there's no light. I'm
okay,
still in
okay.
photo, so there's no lighting.
You are in photo. Wow. Anyway. So what was the next thing I said we are going to implement? What was the next thing I said we are going to implement? Everybody has forgotten. Who was here at the beginning of the class? Nobody. Now, wow, that's not good. The next thing I said we are going to implement. Okay, we are going to start because after nominating how many candidates now, it's useless if we don't vote. So let's actually vote for candidates, right? So in the contract, I made it that you can't vote if the election has not started. I should also change all of this here. But I think I'm going to add that to your assignment. You should not be seeing all these buttons here. Since the election has not started, it can't be suspended, it can't be ended, and you can't count votes. So I'm going to give it to you as assignment. Just don't worry. At the end of this class, we are going to. So the next thing is the start election, and the button is on the sidebar. So let's open our sidebar components. Okay. And this start election, let's look at this place. This start election is also a write function, right? Write function, right? It's also a write function. So we are doing basically the same thing we did before, just without what's it called? Without the candidate first name and last name. So const this is equal to use contracts, the ABI, which is our voting API, and the address, which is our contract address. And from here, we are going to destructure contracts. Next, I want to make sure the user is connected, so const user counts. So I'm going to structure the address and rename it as user. Then const calls is equal to I'm doing the use memo thing again. Because no matter what, it's important whether we are passing user contract. In this place, we are not going to be checking for the length of anything because it does not expect any argument, right? What should I do to the dashboard? Lamin, what should I do to the dashboard? Are you sorted now? I didn't see this comment on time. Are you sorted now? Okay, that's very good. If not is valid, I'm going to return and then return. Let me confirm that this is the name of the function. Yes. I mean, you don't have to do this now. I mean, this is exactly what I want. Sorry. Exactly. An empty array. I'm passing in an empty array. And I'm changing this based on user and contract. And we have right. Sounds traceable. Untitled transaction launch.
Question, sir.
Okay.
Where you have um where you have core data dot compile,
Yes.
initially you used it to a sort of compile the strings, that's the byte array, into felt, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the
So
strings in
but now that
but
we are not working with those variables like the last name and first name, is it still
yeah,
necessary that you will use that
it's not
core data
necessary
dot
actually.
compile?
It's not necessary,
Oh,
but you have to pass in an empty array.
okay, okay.
I can just decide to, instead of this call data or compile, I can decide to remove this and pass in an array. It's still correct. Do you understand? I just
Yes,
I
yes.
just use the call data compile because it's a habit.
Okay, okay.
So use wait for transaction, the hash is data, that's this data we are seeing here, dot transaction hash, and what is true. So what am I getting from here? Is loading. I'm going to rename it start election is loading. Spend start election. And excuse me, I'm just going to do this and this so that it will be more visible. I mean, I probably don't have to import all of this, but it's fun. Let me just do this one also this time. Const. You know what? I'm just going to call it a function. Whatever I don't have to write, I don't write. Import this properly. It's pending. Start election is loading. Okay. Data. Start election. Data. Does anybody get what I'm doing here? Or is anybody confused with what I'm doing here? So the issue is that here, what am I doing? I'm mapping sidebar options. So all these things are not hard coded. So what I'm just going to do is so what I did is that Jesus Christ, for the first index here, from if we look at this thing, this sidebar options is an array, right? And it means this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I left nominate strings. Okay, this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing this for just the start election. I can actually. Okay, I'm going to make this better after the class and push to GitHub. But there's a way I can make this better. I just don't want to waste my time in class here. Start election. The easy thing to do is that instead of this, since I know that I'm going to do these three functions, these three other functions, I'm just going to pass in, I'm just going to pass the type of, I'm just going to pass what we are doing as an argument here. And then the text at the end of this place is going to be based on it. And it looks the same. But now, what you don't know is that if I do this, what you don't know, like what you don't know now that if I'm carrying out any of these transactions, if I'm carrying out any of these transactions here, there is actually a loading state implemented like that button we had for the nominate candidates. But I'm also going to leave that one to you. The next challenge is it really a challenge? How to handle Sorry, I've not written this function. I've not written a final function to do it. Again, this is exactly what I did for the last one, right? So, who did not follow what I just did? Who did not follow what I just did? I'm sure some people here would have been confused. Everybody followed. Wow, people are mad devs. Why would I be like you? Everyone say how many people are in this class. Nobody's talking. Okay, oh. God, when? So let's test it. Oh, so mistake. I'm not going to confirm this. And the election has started. The election was only able to start because I'm the owner of the election. So I'm going to leave you. You know what? I'm not going to leave you this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct that thing to make sure the loading state will be implemented just on what you are calling. And then part of the assignment will be to conditionally render all of this. No, I'm not going to give that to you. Don't worry, I'll just leave it this way. What you are going to do is just downvote and batch nominate. So let's now vote. We started the election. Let's go back to this table. For voting, in order to cast votes, what you need is candidate ID, right? And the candidate ID cannot be gotten anywhere. This candidate ID is not just gotten by votes. There's something I didn't test. Hold on. I want to try and nominate someone that I've nominated before. Surname Precious and face name Rich. Let's see what will happen. This confirms it. In my contract, I made sure that you can't nominate the same person twice. That's one of the things I made sure. So it worked for me now. Name, first name Edwards. Edwards. Did not work also. Okay. Let me change this to Edwards. Anybody what happened? Did anybody see what just happened? People should clap now. Should I be taking? Let me show you another thing that I did in the contract. I told you, go through this contract. It's pure brilliance. Let me show you something else I did in the contract. Even if I exchange the first name and surname, here, surname is Precious, first name is Rich. Let's see. Although this one might not work, I might have made a mistake. Now I'm just realizing. But then, let's see. It did not work. Ah, God. I actually took my time, my brain to write this. Within this place. within these components, right? So what I want to do is that it would have been easy. Again, I don't know how many here, but it will be easy. This is the only place you can access the ID of a specific candidate. So the best thing to do here will be to call the hook within this small tree here, within this table row component, within this table row element. That will be the best place to call the function. But then a hook can only be called at the top level of a component. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make this thing into a component of its own. Does anybody understand? Am I speaking to anybody? Do you understand? I'm going to make it into a reusable component so that I'll be able to use that hook at the top of the component. Yes, the code repository is available. I shared it at the beginning of the class now. I'm going to share it again. So let me just create this new component called table with CSS. So I'm just going to copy this exact thing. I'll paste it here. I'll organize it. For the imports, I'm going to import them well. Okay, let me see where I imported it from here. Yes. And well, let me just do it how we're doing it. What else? Let's L name, F name. This logic inside here. This logic inside here, I'll pass it to this place. Let me import this properly. I think that's all. Is there anything left? So I'm just going to remove this. And I'll change this entire thing. And it expects candidates and index. So I'm going to pass candidates, go to candidates, and index, go to index, which makes everything correct. So let's check if it works. So that worked, right? This one can't resolve because it's actually not a string. It should resolve anyway. I don't know. Anyway, can we move? Can we move? Is there anybody that didn't follow what I did? Everybody got what I did, right?
No, I didn't follow. Can you explain again?
Sorry? I
Can
didn't hear
you
you.
go over it again? The way you did the component.
What I did is, sorry. What I did is, this is what we had here before. This is what we had here before. So I want to have access to the candidate ID. So that I'll use the candidate ID as an argument to a hook. So that I'm going to start calling use contracts, use contract rights, and the rest. Do you understand? I want to call use contract rights. I want to call them so that what? So why do I want to call them? Yes, I want to call them so that I'll use them here. Do you understand? Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I understand.
The reason I want to get the candidate ID is that this cast vote function requires candidate ID. And then
Okay.
to be able to have access to the candidate ID, I need to somehow call it within this place that each candidate is defined. But the problem is that this place that each candidate is defined, I don't have access. I can't, okay, I have access to it. But what I cannot do is that I can't call React hooks within this place. Because React hooks can only be called within the top level of a component. It can't be called inside this, inside the JSX. So what I did is everything here, I moved it to a new component here. So that I can now do those things at the top level of this particular component. Do you understand now?
Okay. Yeah.
And then I passed candidates and the index as props here. So that's the only thing I did. We don't need this key anymore. Or this key should not be here. This is where the key should be.
Okay, thank you.
We don't even need to pass this index anymore because it's not used anywhere. Is it used anywhere? No, it's not used anywhere. But I'm going to leave it, sir. That one is up to you. So we are going to come into this component const as normal. I mean, we should be used to writing by now. Get the user right, const use contract. API, putting API and address, contract, address. Simple. And what we're getting from here is contract. Const use contract rights. Cost is defined. So let's define cost. The dependency array. Define the condition for it to be valid. That's the user exists and the contract exists. If it's not valid, return, and normally return contract.populate. What's the name of the method? Cast votes and put the array. So here, I'm not, what am I not doing? I'm not going to convert. First of all, let me log this because so this is the only argument, right? And let me also make sure candidate exists. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to add that. I'm not going to put user and contract here. So as I said, let me log the ID to the console. So yeah, you are going to see it. So this is the ID of each candidate. This is what it looks like. And if you look at this thing, it ends in N, right? Once you see that it ends in N, you know that this thing is not TypeScript compatible data. It's Cairo quality. Let me put it that way. It's pure Cairo quality. If you look at this one N, they did not say did not say what core data.compile, because that core data.compile is to transform our arguments that we have. But they did not see it here because they use pure Cairo quality data, right? Do you understand? Is anyone following what I'm doing? So me, in the same way, here, there is no place that I transformed. Let me count this. This should be 11. Yes. There is no place that I changed the ID to a field 252 or anything. In fact, let me show you how this ID looks as a field 252. Okay, listen. Let me go to start. Again, this is okay. This is me basically bragging now. But this is an sorry. This is not an ordinary ID, as you can see. This is a hash. But yeah, there is no need. So this thing, there is no place that we converted it back. There's no place we converted it to TypeScript data now. So when we are using it as arguments, we don't need to do any form of reconversion. We can just put it there directly, right? Which is why in this place, I did not say call data.compile. I just put the candidate's ID direct. Very good. So what am I going to take from here? Write the same and the spending. Then, sorry, let me change this. I want to change this. Let me see how it looks. Does it look good? No. And then I'm going to wrap this in a span as well. And I'm going to display this flex an item center. Same thing here. Flex an item center. So this is just spiral. About proxy seems extreme. And I'll change it to that one. Okay, this is good. Okay, I think that's good. before I continue. Is everybody with me? Okay, beautiful. So what I'm going to do next is what man has always done. Let me get it from here. Yeah. So I'm just going to paste this here. Simple. And get data from here. I like easy life. Like nothing, nothing should stress me. Let me get button content. In fact, I can even write this whole thing into a hook and use it anywhere I want to use it. I'm going to remove this. But I don't think I need this again. So here I'm going to return sending. Here I'm going to return waiting for confirmation. Since the button is not that big, here I'm going to return reverted. Rejected. Error. Button. So I'm not going to very easy. I'm going to check if it's the same. It is. I hope everybody followed what I did. I just basically copied code and repeated it. If you followed it, just like, let me see. And if you have any question, put on your mind and ask a question. It's like some people are sleeping in this class already. That's good. That's good. So let's continue. What was left? What was left? What was left? Something you can do is, okay, let me finish what I'm doing. I'm going to write an async function, put a try catch block as well, and then and I think that should be it. So within this button for voting, I'm just going to say on click. Although there is absolutely no reason what candidates. Is that okay? Any question on what we just did? Any question? If you understand what I just did, send a like. Hey, good.
I know. Well, we didn't follow. At least I didn't follow what you did.
Sorry?
I didn't follow.
Okay, well, you understand the logic I implemented now. I just did the same thing that. Sorry?
Yeah, go over it again, please.
Okay, let me go over what I did. First of all, I made changes to the UI for this button. So that instead of seeing just the arrow, you see this votes and unvotes, right? I did it with this. I did it with this button. Then I started this voting button contents, just like I've been doing in other components where we are sending transactions. Do you understand? Do you understand?
No, I see.
Like, it's exactly what I did here. I should change the naming. Okay, I'm going to change the naming of this. Then apart from that, I put it into a function of its own, just like I've been doing with other, just like I did it inside here. Look at where I did it inside here. This nominate candidates, exactly. It's basically the same thing. I did the same thing here. Do you understand?
Yeah, I see.
So it's just everything. It's just the same. It's just the same thing I'm repeating. So in fact, I'm even copying my code to make it easier for me. Then this is loading. I'm going to change it to votes is loading. Here I'm going to change this. Votes data. I should also change these ones, but I'm not using them anyway. So I'll just comment them out. Are you following, Lamin?
Yes, I'm following.
I don't know why every other person will be sleeping. So after putting it into a function, what I did is I just put the function as the on click to this particular vote button. So Let's try it. Boot. Why do you want it to work? Okay. Let's start writing this thing from scratch. Let me try this. Let me just try it. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. It's still not working. Normally, this should not be the problem. So something else is the issue. Hold on. Uh-huh. This seems like an error in control. Correct. Well, are you following Lami?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow.
Let me change it. Okay. This is usually an error with the contract. So I'm going to stop here in this class, right? Basically, I've taught everybody the logic. I don't know. Let me see if the contract stays stable now. Sorry. Okay. That's a good sign. So what's going to happen now is that what was happening last week, I didn't test this contract. And from what we have seen here, this thing is an error in the contract. So I'm just going to stop here. I'm going to push the code to you people. Do you understand? I'm going to check this code and then push it to you people. You are going to implement the rest of the function. But I'm going to send the entire assignment in the morning with all the instructions, everything you have. But I've taught the basics of reading and writing from and to contracts. Yes, do you understand that part? The hooks that you need to read and write from contracts. And then you can explore the other hooks. Like StartNet React contains a lot. You can switch chain. If I call this function, it's going to switch my wallet from Sepulia to Mainnet or from Mainnet to Sepulia. You can do different, like hundreds of things. You can even deploy a contract from the front end. Yes, you can deploy a contract from the front end. All you need to do is have access to documentation and read it well. So I think this should bring us to the end of the week. And I'm going to send you your assignment tomorrow morning. GM, guys.